You don't need designers anymore. You can literally just have Claude create these images, send it. The moment I saw your hat, I felt my heart drop. I ripped the whole code project. If your product can be generated with 1 or 2 prompts, you don't have a SaaS company.
All right, guys, I've got a very special return guest. I've got Ariel with me. He is an absolute ninja when it comes to Claude Code, and especially Moltbot, aka Clawbot, aka OpenClaw. This man has dug deep into the trenches. He's living. I think he only talks to bots at this point. I'm super lucky to just be here on a real interview with him. So I wanted to ask Ariel because I know as a performance marketer, as affiliate, as publisher, that using these tools can be a distraction or can be also one of your greatest strengths. So, Ariel, you were kind enough to come on and spill some sauce with me on this call. I want to know, how can people listening use these tools and actually get something from them versus just have it be another distraction and shiny object?
Yes, I 100% agree. These tools can be the biggest distraction in your life. Uh, I would say number one, is find out what's your primary goal. So if your primary goal is to make money, only build bots or tools that's meant to help you make money or help improve your productivity for money. We all wanted to try to build some SaaS product, or we want to test a new feature out. So for example, when I was very distracted, I was thinking about trying to run an AI company. I wanted where I have 20 bots all working together, and then I just sit back and do nothing. But it just ended up failing because all these bots would just talk to each other repeatedly. They'll go on loops. And there was this one time where I made a Slack channel. Think of it as the auditorium where you invite all your employees to be in the next stage. And then I said, introduce yourself, or I'll say, hey, check your updates. And all of a sudden, everyone just starts complaining and stuff like that. I was like, shut the hell up, guys. And then I stopped and shut the fuck up, to the point where I had to just remove each of them one at a time because they don't shut up. So
when you set them up as actual working agents and autonomously, independently, they start acting like crazy employees, right?
yes. Mhm. Yeah, there's definitely good ways to make it where it's actually really productive. So for example, one of the claw bots that I built out, I train it to specialize in creative research. So all they do is I gave them my foreplay API, I gave them the documentations, and I told them and I instructed them, hey, your role is that you're going to be looking at competitors' ads, you're going to be doing some market research, and you're going to find what potential concepts or trends that we can play. And I'll give it everything on looking up competitor affiliates ads, or even looking at indirect ads. So say for example, if I'm running auto insurance, then I'll train the bot to look indirectly in other places such as home insurance, or let's say final expense, and then try to understand how we can take that approach and bring it to auto insurance. And I also would train this bot to look at Google Trends and Google News. So there's always this news that's going on. Right now we're currently in a war right now. So this could actually take the trends and actually can come up with really good angles and hooks straight out of it.
What are some of I'd imagine you've gone through the learning process of the bots will only be as good as what you give them, right? That's been my biggest learning the last few, I guess, months now. What are some of the biggest mistakes you made at first when you first started using Claude Code and then you started using OpenClaw? What were some of the mistakes where you were the problem with how you were setting them up, how you were instructing them, and what are some of the things you did to course correct it so you got more productivity out of your bots?
Hmm. Yeah. So, The biggest mistake I did was is setting up Clawbot on a VPS server. And it's as much as people say, oh, it's cheap, just set it up on a $5 server, or just open up on Hostinger or Hexner or whatever VPS server. Just get yourself a Mac Mini, save yourself the trouble. Like that's the it's easier to like even get my clients to just like set it up themselves instead of just trying to be cheap. Because I when I did that, I wanted to set it up on my GPU server, Clawbot, and I successfully did it, and then a week later, while I was like adding more stuff to my Clawbot in my GPU server, I started to notice that someone has been like that my CPU has been like burning hot for like 100% for a few hours, and then so I check what's going on, and I asked Claude, "Hey, what's going on with the logs? What's going on? What's happening?" And the moment I saw you were hacked, you got hacked, my heart was I felt my heart drop, and that's when I was kind of up to like 2 a.m. in the morning, just like trying to fix this. So, and you will never know you got hacked. That's the scariest part. You will not know. And then when you find out you got hacked, it was too late. So I actually got hacked like 5 hours ago, and then I only realized I got hacked when it was around like 11 at night. So
Like just now, or are you talking about the first time it happened?
the first time it happened.
But ever since you moved over to Mac Mini, that you locally hosted it, you haven't had any issues, right?
I never had any issues with using Mac Minis. With Mac Minis, all you need to do is set up Tailscale, set up Tailscale, and this way your internet is like secure. So think of Tailscale as like you're building a tunnel. So imagine I don't know what's a good example, but like imagine, let's say, the underground tunnels in Gaza. Like this way you're like hidden from the outside public. And you can and the great thing with Tailscale is actually you can communicate with it. Um, One of the great things that I did with the Mac Minis is that not only you can set up OpenClaw on there, but if you have you can also set it up so this way you can actually control your computer directly on there. So there's a setting in your Macs, and you should all do this. Number one is you want to go to sharing, go to the sharing settings, and I can tell you right now what to enable. I know exactly what to enable, but the sharing settings you should enable is screen sharing. So if you enable screen sharing, let's say if I'm using this one right now, this MacBook Pro, if I want to connect to my Mac Mini, I can connect straight to it and use it as if it was like my normal computer. So this way, if there's any errors that are happening in Clawbot, I can actually just open up my just remote control, connect to it, and it will resolve itself. So I don't have to be stuck in my apartment just trying to fix it. The second setting you should enable is called remote login. And it's also under the settings. It's under the advanced settings, and basically, it allows you to control your Mac Mini through the terminal. So, and the terminal allows you to like set up Claude Code, to set up codecs, all those really cool CLIs. But because I learned about remote login, now whenever I vibe code, instead of me trying to like vibe code directly from my MacBook Pro, because I don't want to leave my computer on all the time. I like biking. I like traveling and stuff. So I can vibe code remote control on my Mac Mini, vibe code it, and have the code run there. Let's say I want to have to run that's like for 4 hours. I'll just click enter, close my MacBook, and just go throughout my day.
So how does it stay open?
Because so there's a command that you should learn. It's called tmux. So tmux, and what this allows you, it's basically this is actually how OpenClaw is built on. It's one of those little commands, but it creates a imagine a terminal inside the terminal, like Inception. But
Right.
but this terminal is on 24/7. If you want to access it, there's like a command you can do where you can like enter to that terminal, and then you can see um your previous um sessions that you did with it, your previous sessions with with let's say you're using Claude Code. So that's what I've been doing with it, and that's when I started building out my own vibe coding setup. So when I used to vibe code, I used to be using like Windsurf or Cursor, and then I'll just like use their little thing on the little panel on the left side to like code. Once I discovered Claude Code, then I started using just the terminal itself to code. But I still leave
The
my
best
platform
now.
open. Yeah.
It's so
And
cool.
now, and now because of this remote, so now all I do is I remote control on the terminal to my MacBook Mini, use Tmux, and like I can deploy, let's say, 10 Claude codes and have it work simultaneously or have it work on a different project all on its own. And it's probably one of the best setups I ever built out.
So you don't actually go into the terminal in Claude Code in Claude Code and do coding anymore, or like communicate in Claude Code. You just talk to the OpenClaw and you let it use Claude Code for you.
Yes, that's also another big thing too. So yeah, if you set up OpenClaw, and whichever model provider you use, whether it's Claude or or let's say OpenAI, you're actually technically using Claude code the whole time. So it's been really helpful. I actually built some really good code projects with it. That actually helped me out. Um, the recent one that I built out it's called Kai.ai. So what happened was that I saw there's another person that was coding the project for Kai.ai, and Kai.ai is like a place where you can like generate creatives with, without getting overcharged. So like if I want to create like a Sora 2 video, it's gonna cost me like 17 cents per video. Or if I want to set up VO3, it's gonna cost me around like, let's say 33 cents. So instead of me paying like $6 if I use the Google API. So the problem is that his code was abandoned. So what I did is I ripped it, just like how every affiliate does. I ripped their whole code project, and I told Claude Code, I want you to analyze the whole code base and find me errors that's going on and fix it right away. Also, I want you to go ahead um check for the latest documentation on Kata AI and start implementing into it. Um, and then now with this, I can actually with this setup and it's working fully functionally. I can create. I can make basically a limitless amount of videos with it. And also this will benefit a lot of ecom media buyers, because if you want to try to like, let's say, add your product in there, it's definitely doable, and you don't even need to try. You don't need There's like no need to like try to vibe code it. All you need to do is use this code base that I built out, and then just like set it up.
And that's working off Veo 3 is the model.
Sora 2, VO3, Kling, Sea Dream, basically what was on Kata AI, I took the whole thing and built it out.
What are some ways you're getting better consistency in your character generation?
Um, you you want to use image, so I'll use Nano Banana as the image model, and then I'll connect it directly to VO3. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'll do that consistently. So there's two ways to do it. One way is that you can take the same Nano Banana image and then connect it, and then have that same image connect to each VO3 video you generate. The only downside is that, let's say, if the person was interacting, it's the second segment is going to be like the same thing. So but honestly, honestly, most people won't look at that. The audio is more important than the video itself. The second part is that you can take the um, the last frame the last frame of it, and you can extend the video with it. So this way it also maintains that consistency.
Was Veo.
uh yeah, with Veo.
Yeah. What are some other tips you have of things you've learned to do or not to do with Claude Code and then also with OpenClaw?
So OpenClaw is do not download all the skills at once. So there's a lot of skills in Claude of where it's like there's like viruses in there. So don't do that. There's a very few that I like to use. There's one called Paras Second Brain, and basically it helps give OpenClaw memory to it. There's another one. There's another skill that I know, and basically it's a skill that teaches OpenClaw uh to reflect on itself. So every night before it goes to bed, OpenClaw would take the
Doesn't go to
whole
bed.
they'll take the whole thing, the whole conversation, and reflect what it learned. So basically, it's relearning itself every single day. The third one you should enable. And there's like a lot of ways you can do it. The first one is called memory search, and this one allows it to have a long-term memory. So you're gonna set up a what's called a vector store. Actually, no, you could set up a vector store. No, you don't need to set up a vector store. No, you're gonna use memory search, and you connect your OpenAI API key, and then it's gonna use the embedding model that OpenAI has, and it will create like this little storage, like a little storage unit for you long term. So this way, if you had something that it needs, let's say like a week ago, it will pull that out easily. It will maintain that context. The other way you can do it is there's one called LanceDB. So LanceDB is another memory that you install right into your Claude bot, and it will generate a folder with all these memory files in there, and it's you any MacBook can do this. You can easily do this. Just say, hey, can you implement LanceDB memory into my MacBook Mini, so this way you have good context in there. It'll install it right away. The last way you can do it is something that I'm learning. Is using mem0 OSS. So which is there's an open source model, and the main reason why is that I want to use my own embedding models. I want to be able to use my own vector stores, and I don't want to be forced to use someone else's. Like there's a lot of memory solutions out there for OpenClaw, but the problem I find with using them is that once you start using them for quite a while, you're kind of stuck with using them because you have all that storage in there, and if you try to like move it, you have to like spend all the tokens to reindex it to another server. So this one allows me to like host my own vector store database. It allows me to use my own embedding models, and I don't have to depend on a company where I have to pay like $20 or $50, and later on it comes to the point where I have to pay $2,000 a month just because I'm too dependent on that company for that memory.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you're talking about is probably the biggest lesson also that I had is the context window. When you really understand that, it changes everything for you, whether you're in the terminal like coding with Claude Code or setting up OpenClaw. If you don't properly store the if you don't properly store the give me 1 second. Um, hold on. If you don't properly store what's actually happening, then you're basically setting yourself up for failure in a way because your bot is going to basically not remember anything, right? It's the same thing with Claude Code, depending on what you're trying to build or do. That limitation in the memory and the ability to recall is that makes a big difference.
Yeah. There's this one tool.
Give it,
Yeah.
Ariel, give me 1 sec. Hold on. So I'll get someone to work on the house.
Uh-huh.
Let me jump into like the last one or two things. Sorry, man.
Hmm.
So you talk about installing these skills to improve contacts, improve memory, because
Yep.
that is probably the biggest limitation of OpenClaw.
Yeah.
What else? What other like? Do you still use Claude Code at all, or do you only use OpenClaw at this point?
I still use both. Um, but now I'm leaning towards using OpenClaw. Like once I got like Claude uh Claude installed on OpenClaw, majority of the time I just use OpenClaw. It's like the fact that I can like ask it to do things on my phone is just really, really good. Like I don't like to be stuck on my computer all the time. Like I want to be out and about. I mean, I'm meeting up with new clients across New York City, getting new business, and OpenClaw really helped me like be remote more.
What are some of the what are like one or two of the things you're working on, or actually, what are one or two of the things that you've built that have produced a direct return on investing so far?
So number one, the Kai.ai, there's a program called Comfy UI, and Comfy UI is like imagine NEN for creatives. So with Kai.ai, I'm able to use these premium models at a discounted rate. And when you combine that with Comfy UI, um, made to mass produce creatives is like really it's so simple. Like it's very easy for me to like make creatives using Comfy UI versus when I try to do it on like let's say something like NEN, and then I gotta like think about like the flow and stuff like that. So it helps me like visually see what's going on. The second one that I'm building out that helped produce a lot. Um, this one's for Newsbreak. So it's called the offer evaluator. No, actually, I built this for every traffic source. It's called the offer evaluator. It's not even a code. It's not even like a software. It's literally like a prompt that I built out. And basically how it works is that you can take any affiliate link and then I'm gonna say something. Hey, review this website and tell me if it has if and tell me if this is gonna work on, let's say, Newsbreak. If this is gonna work on Facebook. So there's this one. Let's say this is one offer that's like kind of like geared towards kids. So I gave it the link, and it ranks from like 0 to 10. It checks on the demographics. It checks on like um the psychology of the users because every traffic source you run, it's like it has its own culture. Like the way how the creators would work on Facebook may or may not work on Newsbreak and vice versa. Some will work and some will not work just because the fact you realize that it's a different audience. So when I fed it something, let's say for example, freecash.com, like free cash for like it's like one of those sites where you can like where people can do service and make money. Um uh the offer evaluator ranked it as 4 out of 10, and then saying that this is not you should look elsewhere. I did run it anyway, and I was
And
and
do well.
it didn't do well. It didn't really do well. I try to push it down as much as I can, but like my cost is like literally like $15 per conversion when I need to be hitting at 5. However, however that offer works on other places like TikTok. It will crush it because it fits the right demographic itself. So I built the offer evaluator for Newsbreak, YouTube, Google Ads, Google Display, email, SMS, Facebook, because that was kind of like my biggest breakthrough. Like like what you mentioned I remember what you mentioned in when you did your Facebook ads, how to print money. It's all about the offer. And that's what I want to do. And that's what I built out. Is this offer a good, is it going to crush or is it going to break?
What would you say are three things you'd recommend, like three biggest tips you'd recommend to someone that's looking to start out with OpenClaw or even Claude Code today that's not doing it at all?
The first thing I'm going to do, you said one or two things or one or three things?
What, two or three? It's up to you, man.
Okay. So the first one is that trying to use OpenClaw or Claude Code is like trying to you're trying to step into an F-35. And the biggest thing that a lot of people should do is learn prompt engineering first. Like, don't get into it right away. Like, learn how to prompt it well, because that carries over when you're doing Claude Code or doing OpenClaw. Like, it's if you try to make prompts like make ads for car insurance, it's gonna print out some generic car insurance ads. But if you prompt it, let's say, pretend you are a world-class creative strategist. Your goal is that you're promoting this website. Let's say, for example, it is autorates.com, and your goal is you'll be running on Facebook ads. I would like you to generate three different categories of the awareness stage, generate three headlines, three descriptions, three primary texts that will highly convert. That will produce way better results than just like printing out one sentence. And when you carry where you carry that one little skill over to Claude Code and over to OpenClaw, your ROI is going to go up easily with it. So number two, um, number two is that don't uh don't go right away into like building a SaaS product, or have your head into like try to build a SaaS company. Um, if if your code can be if your product can be generated with one or two prompts, you don't have a SaaS company. Like, anyone can build a Facebook ad launcher. Anyone can build a creative automated creative tool. How focus on problems that you have. Anything that's like kind of repetitive. So if there's issues that's been going on, let's say for example, I had this one client where he keeps forgetting what happens in the sales meetings. Um, he would his problem is that he keeps forgetting. The solution is that he had ClaudeBot that integrates with his Gmail and also integrates with his meeting recorder, like Bubbles. There's like Bubbles or other screen recorder or other meeting recorders. And because of that, he was able to close a $13,000 deal in like one day. Like, and this is gonna be the easiest client, because all we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing a reach campaign. It's easy. So that's number two. Focus on things that you have problems with and solve it. The last one I have is always keep learning. Don't Always keep learning. There's always gonna be something going on. But I would also say this: don't get your head into the noise. YouTube. There's a lot of noise going on. Like it even a lot. It even gets me. Like sometimes I'll see like tweets like, "Holy shit, we're cooked, guys!" And then but in reality, it's like one of those gurus or influencers that literally is making money trying to with those articles, or they're like an affiliate, and they're like getting paid. Let's say you're getting paid like 50% or 30% of those earnings. Like, it's one of those affiliates that's really good at grabbing your attention. So always stay up to date. There's some really good YouTube channels out there. You just gotta find them, and once you found them, just stick with it. Don't try to like hop over to other ones, like, because everyone just loves hyping people, and like, and
Especially right now.
yeah,
It's easy
right
because
now
it's a
it's
wild,
so
wild west,
easy.
right?
It's so easy to be like, holy shit, guys, I just made 10x on my Facebook ads. Here's how I did it, and then that's literally just an affiliate link to, like, let's say, ARC ads.
Yeah. So how can people connect with you, learn more from you, ask you questions? How can they find you, Ariel?
So number one, I have an Instagram channel. I have an Instagram, so you can follow me, Ariel Ptolemy, and um I would put basically this is base I do days of my journeys because I recently was laid off like almost like a year and a few months ago, and basically I'm just showing people the path of becoming independent, learn coming from like not knowing nothing about media buying to like now training people. Like people are asking me for advice, like, and I learned to create my own path. Number two is I have a YouTube channel, and with same thing, Ariel Ptolemy, and this YouTube channel, I talk a little bit about like media buying, like but also a little bit more technical. If you're having issues with like setting up your Newsbreak pixel, I have a video just for you if you want to, if for that. Um, Last but not least is I'm starting a school community called Ariel's AI Labs, and I just recently did one yesterday, where we talked about like how to generate um, consistent images and be able to like replicate them easily. And that one was the biggest. I think that was like kind of like the biggest one because you don't need designers anymore. You can literally have Claude to create these images, send it over to Nano Banana, and and it just replicates it.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Awesome, my man. Bro, thank you for, I think 30 minutes is perfect. You've been an awesome guest as always. You shared probably like 7 to 10 actionable items of things to not just take away as general big ideas, but also things to put into action with the skills specifically, recommendations to how you prompt, and then obviously those last 3 tips for Rockstar. So I appreciate you, man. We'll do another one of these in a few months. I'm sure you'll be cooking up a bunch of other crazy stuff, and I'll probably see you in a few weeks too.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.